we should get some more for law enforcement, for trial, for courts, for juvenile court. That's what we have to do, and we have to maintain the economic growth. Green Valley High School, I don't know if you know it, is the #1 in Nevada, because everybody speaks English there. They read English, okay? We don't have too many illegals yet, even though the government of Henderson, which is Democrats, they're trying to bring more refugees under Agenda 21, United Nations. Thank you.
Dr. Tony Gumina, I think our biggest thing always boils down to basics, and the basics is productivity, and whether that's bringing more industrial type of things here in Nevada, or bringing other types of production for jobs and other industry. Because I think if people in general are working, we're paying more taxes, and so we can lessen other governmental issues related to the taxes there. But psychologically, we have less crime if people feel productive. They actually have a job, they have somewhere to go every day versus just hang out at home. So I think one of the most important things is still working on bringing up the job market. And in Nevada, I think we have a huge opportunity for renewable energy that could employ easily 10,000 people just right off the bat. Because if we had renewable energy sources here, such as huge amounts of solar panels, which would take up about 8 to 10,000 square miles, which isn't undoable, would cost much less than what 1 year in the Iraq conflict cost us. And we can employ a lot, and we can provide renewable energy that would help the entire country. So I think the biggest thing comes back down to having people be productive and being good members of society.
Steve Schiffman. I feel I'm rather fortunate. I've been a Foreign Service officer working in places like Kosovo, Afghanistan, worked with Iraq, been in Africa with the United Nations, whether it's Sierra Leone or Rwanda, and also I worked in Russia in those places. And I was also a Peace Corps volunteer as well, so I have a certain perspective. And what I hear and my travels overseas, and relates to your question, is that we are becoming, we're echoing, I would say, the problems we're seeing in much of the third world and so forth. Why? Polarization is a major issue. People feel they're neglected, they're marginalized. What they need to do, and what we need to do, is to focus on not specific areas, but rather compassion, fairness, tolerance. Basically, treat a person like a brother or sister. When you make legislation in that category, then the other problems will disappear. Sure, there's crime in the streets, there's immigration and illegal immigration, but ask yourself, why do you think most people here who come here illegally are here? It's because we offer things they can't find elsewhere.
Because we let them in.
And lastly, when you say illegal, to me that's too much of a generalization. For example, you can be here with a visa expiration. You can smuggle yourself in. You can cross a border, or you can be from Canada with an expired visa. You're an illegal alien, right? So when you really ask yourself, if you have compassion, integrity, honesty, all the other issues will solve.
Thank you.
I think the biggest problem facing us in this district, as in many others across the country and the world, but particularly in our country and in our area, we need to reinforce in our children the source of their freedom, which is the Constitution. They need to be trained in civics. They need to love this country and why they need to know why they love it. They need to know all of the greatness that's occurred with all of our forefathers and the rest of it, and they are not getting that information in school. It's a very serious problem across the country, and we must get that fixed. Secondly, one of the real problems that's facing us here is the rapid growth that we have and the building programs that are going on across Henderson particularly. It's a very large influx of people. We're going to have to face some multiculturalism and some other problems from rapid growth. We need to be prepared to be sure these people are employed and that we can assist them in any way in that endeavor. Thank you.
First, I want extra credit because I didn't go over. The Republicans and Democrats are the biggest problem we have in this country because they're the ones that have created every problem we have. They're not going to be the solution ever. You're going to get more of the same, I can guarantee it. I ran in 12, 14, 16, nothing's changed. You want to make it better? Don't elect a Republican or Democrat. Just a fact. Let me have this.
Okay, so what we
I
did,
have a
wrap
place
up.
where you can put it.
Hold on, so thank you so much for you candidates for being here. We're gonna give you 30 seconds of your closing to introduce yourself again and to say something that you haven't said before. So we're gonna start at your end of the table, so you get 30 seconds and I will tell you when it's up.
Dave Goossen, I'm an independent candidate, no campaign donations, no political affiliation. Reapply for government programs and the fair tax. The solution to government is really simple, small. You have less federal government, it works better for everybody.
I'm Harry Vickers again, Independent American Party, smaller government, take care of the veterans and take care of them properly, reduce the cost. The important thing is that you remember Republicans and the Democrats have failed you. The Congress of the United States has failed you. The Independent American Party offers you an alternate choice.
I can only say that polarization and name calling has caused problems. I've been called a fascist, a communist, a traitor, but never a good American. What you have to ask yourself is, how do you accomplish things in this country? We're all Americans. We're not a Democrat in Congress. We're an American in Congress. You have Joe Lieberman, for example. You had John McCain. You had other fine Americans as well in Congress. You had Sam Nunn, who was a Democrat. Then you had people like Ronald Reagan, who was Republican. So when I hear all this bickering of names and pulling, whether I'm right and you're wrong, or you're wrong and I'm right, that needs to be gone. We need to cross aisles. We need to be able to work out problems by outreach, by saying that we have a common problem. We want to look for a common solution using common, fair, equitable language.
Once again, I'm Dr. Tony Gumina, not a Democrat, not a Republican, just the right choice for Southern Nevada. Being a father of 2 young children, husband, Christian, physician, having to manage my own business here in Las Vegas for almost the last 23 years, and also living in Las Vegas for the last 40 years in CD3. I feel like I've got a lot of interest in the future of our country, not just Nevada itself. And I believe that as a result of the family physician, Dr. I come in contact with a lot of different people and understand their interests and concerns about where the direction of the government should head. Thank you.
Again, Eddie, Mr. Maga Hamilton, small businessman, not a politician. I had to fight hard for that name on the ballot, Mr. Maga. You know why I did that? Mr. Maga is my way of dog whistling to all the Trump supporters that I'm reporting for duty. Okay, unless you have $2 million, you got to broadcast your platform. So I'm dog whistling. Only they can hear it, nobody else. To come out and vote for me. I will defend President Trump against the attempt to overthrow this government. For the first time in American history, there's a conspiracy in the FBI top level, in the CIA top level.
Sir.
They probably also assassinated John Kennedy. So I'm going to be in Washington to defend President Trump and to fight for the U.S. military. And as far as the $1.3 trillion, we're going to do a recession on it, which is legal. Thank you.
Dr. Annette Teijeiro here. Pretty energetic there, Eddie. I have to confess that I am an English as a second language learner. I master Spanish very well. At the age of 16, I was translating legal documents for an immigration attorney. That means to the constituents in my district that I will be able to communicate with even more people, because 28%, almost 28% of Nevada is Hispanic, and a lot of them speak Spanish, and we have to bring them into the 21st century. We have to get them involved because they are growing. So I encourage all of you to go to AnnetteForCongress.com, because I cannot in 30 seconds tell you the extensive, diverse experience that I have to carry to Washington for all of you. Thank you.
Richard Hart. Want to say I am running because I really want to serve everybody. Republicans, Democrats, Independents, seniors, our veterans, and I want to thank you for hosting this today. And I will listen. And we're not seeing a lot of that right now on either side. They're not listening to what we're talking about, what we want. They do a lot of talking, but they don't listen, and I will listen. I've lived in the area in CD3 for over 22
30
years.
seconds.
Small business owner, and I just want to serve and to listen to your needs and concerns. And thank you.
Dr. Thomas of Croix, representing 3rd District. I am a Vietnam veteran. I served during the Persian Gulf War, and I did 2 tours in Iraq, both in 07 and 08. As a non-combatant, 07 I worked as an Army contractor, 08 I worked for the State Department because they failed to provide public health experts like myself, so I represented a community which you may be familiar with called Sauter City. So you've seen me to the front lines more than once, and I'm willing to go to the front
30
line
seconds.
again and hit the beach in Washington, D.C. I know their game plan, and I'm willing to compromise and work effectively to serve my constituents. Thank you.
Can you give everybody a chance to mention the website? We still got time, 15 minutes.
Hold on for 1 second. Yeah, we got to get others in here also, and I appreciate that. I'm sure they'll be able to get to your websites and then go onto your names and they'll
Just
find
tell
out.
us, we can mention.
We'll do that. All right, go ahead. Give your website out. You have a website?
Contact info.
I have no website. Go to CrowdPack, and that I have my bio and certainly any endorsements.
Just your website. Come on,
That's
guys.
it.
We're gonna
Thank you.
get, thank you. Websites only.
Haven't built a website, so yeah, it's underway.
Already gave mine. I did forget to say that my husband's a Vietnam era veteran and that my father-in-law was a Pearl Harbor survivor. Thank you.
And your website.
No, I already did.
Okay,
AnnetteForCommerce.com.
I'm on Facebook all day long, all the time, so that's
Facebook, please.
Facebook.com/groups/elect Eddie Hamilton. You can talk to me
Okay,
right there.
that-
And my Twitter is @electhamilton Twitter. So that's my social media. Thank you.
Mine's at drtonygforcongress.com. Thank you.
Mine is relatively easy and optimistic. VoteSteve.us.
All right.
There you go. All right, they got it. Thank you,
VoteSteve.us.
sir, so much.
Since I'm already primaried and don't have to fight this battle like you folks do, some of you, I thought it would be unfair for me to get the jump on you guys.
Sir, all we need is your website, please. Thank you.
I understand. Consequently, I'm holding off because I don't want to
Okay,
expose my
so-
position.
Thank you.
All you gotta do is type in my name and it all shows up.
So on behalf of the Veterans in Politics and our candidate interviews, we want to say thank you for the United States Congressional District 3 candidates. We want to thank you for being here. We're going to wind this up, and I want to just give a special thanks to Ron Q for Clark County Treasurer for helping us sponsor it, Michael Broadway Real Estate with Real Water, and of course our Lakeside Business Suites sponsor here that's hosting this fine event with Veterans in Politics. Again, we want to thank you and have a great day. Eddie, I'm gonna snack you.
We got 15 minutes.
Yeah, but I got coming in.